Hello students, today we'll cover a topic, nutrition in human beings. This is our topic. We have already covered the autotrophs, heterotrophs. One thing I wanted to tell you in this autotrophs and heterotrophs, there is the word used organic and inorganic. Okay, so organic, what does organic means and what is inorganic? Organic is which is derived from living, and inorganic is like the elements, compounds which are not naturally occurring, but they are not derived from a living being. Okay, so organic and inorganic in biological terms, this is the difference. Now, for nutrition in human beings, we have seen the videos of it and they are very nice to see. But let us cover this topic with the diagram and traditional teaching method. So, here on our left side, we have this human digestive system diagram. This is a very important diagram. You all must, you should know how to draw it. So, we call it the entire from the mouth to the anus. This is a long tube. See, this is a long tube coming, This is this buccal cavity here. In this buccal cavity, we call it buccal cavity. Then there is esophagus, then there is stomach, and then there is small intestine. This is pancreas, then small intestine. There are two glands, liver and pancreas, and this is then coiled, and then large intestine, and then finally it ends into the anus. Okay. So this whole entire tubular structure of our body, the digestive system, is called the alimentary canal. We call it basically alimentary canal. So we have initially the buccal cavity. We call it alimentary canal. We can call it gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract. And in short form, we also call it GI tract. Okay, this is we call it. Now, in the first place is the oral cavity or the buccal cavity. Oral or buccal, it is the same thing. So the entire this thing is made to digest the complex food material into simpler food materials. So what do you mean by the complex food materials? See, complex food materials are, we know our nutrients are proteins, we know fats, carbohydrates. So all these are, food materials which we require, vitamins, minerals. So proteins are made up of simpler structures like amino acids. Fats are made up of fat globules. Carbohydrate, the simplest carbohydrate is glucose, fructose, they are the simpler form. So every living organism, what it tries, it makes its body from these simpler forms. Amino acids, glucose, fatty globules, fatty acids. So they form their body and they make them more and more complex. So one form of the living thing is eaten by another form, another animal. So let us talk for human beings. So what we eat in our food are these complex materials. Now these complex materials have to be digested. How they are digested? They are first broken down into the mouth or buccal cavity. For breaking down, we have teeth. They crush. We have 32 number of teeth. They are incisor. They're all kind of, it's a tool kit here we have. Incisor. Incisors are for what? Cutting teeth. They are in the front. They are for cutting. And then we have canines. Canines are, you have seen the prominent canines. We have now rudimentary canines. The canines you can see in lions, tigers, cats, dogs. They are for tearing. Tearing. Then we have premolar. What premolar and molar are basically for grinding purpose. Okay. So this is for crushing down the food particles into smaller food particles. Now along with this, we have in buccal cavity the salivary glands. What is the function of these salivary glands? They of course secrete saliva. So what does this saliva do? This saliva, it wets the food. It makes the food provide some lubrication so that it can move forward. Okay, and along with this saliva also contains an enzyme called salivary amylase. This acts on what? This acts on complex sugars. So the carbohydrate, the digestion of the carbohydrate starts in the very beginning in the oral cavity only, or the buccal cavity. So the amylase converts the complex sugars into smaller, simpler sugars. Okay. Now from this buccal cavity, the food moves through this oesophagus. This is a long tube to the stomach. So nothing happens in the oesophagus. So we have forgot another organ in the buccal cavity. Sorry, tongue. Tongue is a very muscular organ. It has lot of things. It mixes the food thoroughly with the saliva. It has taste buds. This lets us ये खाना है, ये नहीं खाना है ना? The different taste buds at different locations. And then the food finally moves forward into the oesophagus, and in the oesophagus there is hardly nothing happens, it just moves ahead. So how does this food move? How this food moves through the gastrointestinal tract? It moves with a rhythmic movement called peristaltic movements. Of course, the gastrointestinal tract is made up of smooth muscles. We have learned what are the smooth muscles. So they are made up of smooth muscles, and this rhythmic peristalsis, they move the food to the stomach. This is now the stomach. We have come here into the stomach. See, its shape is different. S shape you can call, or it has some sphincter. Sphincter means what? Which can close it, or which flows backflow. Okay, which prevents backflow. So it is a large organ, stomach, and it expands when food enters it. The muscular walls of the stomach help in mixing the food thoroughly with the digestive juices. So far the food has just entered. So we will see what all digestive juices are there in the stomach. And it is a saying कि हमें उतना ही खाना चाहिए जितना हमारा पेट भर जाए. वी शुड नॉट ईट टू मच. तो जो स्टमक का साइज है इतना ही हमें खाना चाहिए, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं खाना चाहिए. वी शुड नॉट ईट मोर देन दैट. सो नाउ लेट अस सी Okay, there was a little problem with the page moving ahead. Now it has moved. So let us come back to the stomach. So what happens in the stomach? In the stomach, the gastric glands are present there. the wall of stomach. Okay, and they release what? They release hydrochloric acid, pepsin, mucus. There are three things done in the stomach. This hydrochloric acid, it is acid, you see. What's its function? It provides acidic medium. Why it provides acidic medium? To facilitate the action of enzyme pepsin. पेप्सिन जी एसिटिक मीडियम में ही काम करेंगे, इसलिए हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड जो है ना इस पूरे एनवायरनमेंट को एसिडिक बना देता है. अनदर थिंग इज द HCl also kills the microorganisms, anything which enters along with food. Okay, वो भी उसको भी किल कर देता है हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड. नाउ द एसिडिक मीडियम हो गया इसका. देन व्हाट हैपेंस? द पेप्सिन एक्ट्स और व्हाट? इट एक्ट्स ऑन द प्रोटीन्स. वी सी सलाइवा में ऊपर कार्बोहाइड्रेट पे ऑलरेडी काम शुरू हो गया था. सो अब क्या दूसरा चीज़ें क्या है? प्रोटीन पे द वर्क हैज स्टार्टेड हियर. द प्रोटीन डाइजेस्टिंग, इट इज़ अ प्रोटीन डाइजेस्टिंग एंजाइम, द पेप्सिन. And third thing the stomach does is it secretes mucus. Why it secretes mucus? Because it protects the inner lining of the stomach from the action of the acid. अब acid is always corrosive. What is corrosive? जला देता है जो. So to prevent this corrosive action on the walls of stomach, mucus is secreted. Okay. Now after this, whatever happens, the food has come here. Now the food has to go out. So here there is a sphincter here. I am marking with the pen. Here is a sphincter. So the exit of food from the stomach is regulated. The exit of food from stomach is regulated by a sphincter muscle, which releases it into small intestine, into small amounts. Okay, so sphincter means what? These are circular muscles which close it and open when only it is required. So it is not free flow. Okay, so in small amounts the food is released into small intestine. So now from stomach the food has come to the small intestine here. So these are small, they are coiled, you will not be able to make out. The large size is of the large intestine and the smaller is, you can say, of the small intestine. So the food has now come into the small intestine. The small intestine basically have three parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. And these are this is the main place. In fact, the duodenum is the main place where most of the digestion happens. Okay. This is the longest part of the alimentary canal. Achha, the herbivores, they eat grass. So they eat grass. Grass has, or the plants, they have cellulose, hemicellulose. So to digest them is a difficult job. Okay. So what happens? Their small intestines or their intestines are larger. Okay, whereas the meat eating animals like carnivores, tigers, their intestines are small. It is the site of complete digestion. As I told you, the complete digestion happens in the small intestine of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. What happens in the intestine? There are two major digestive glands, the liver and pancreas. They pour in their secretion into the small intestine only. So they pour in their secretion in the small intestine basically to further digest the food. So we have got a new technological thing. to give you a better quality lecture, we have done this. So after this, in this small intestine, who all are pouring? This is the bigger gland, liver. See, here is liver. It will pour its this thing, and another gland is pancreas. So it will also, this is the pancreas. So they both will pour their secretions into the small intestine. So what does liver secrete? See, liver, it secretes bile into the small intestine. Bile. It gets collected into the gallbladder. Where it gets collected? Into the gallbladder. And when we eat food, this whole bile is secreted into the small intestine. The food coming from stomach, as we know, HCl secrete hua tha, so it is acidic. But now we have to make it alkaline. The food has to be made to alkaline medium. So it is the bile does it. It converts the acidic medium to alkaline medium. Okay, so that the pancreatic enzymes can act. Another thing bile does is bile breaks down the large molecules of fat into smaller globules for better enzymatic actions which can digest the fat. So the larger fat globules are converted into smaller fat globules. These are the two functions of the bile. It makes the food alkaline and it breaks down the larger fat globules in the food. Now comes the pancreatic secretions or the pancreatic juices. It contains these three enzymes: amylase, trypsin, lipase. So again, what amylase is doing, it is digesting the carbohydrates, making them into smaller, simpler carbohydrates like glucose plus fructose. Trypsin, it digests the proteins to convert them into amino acids. Okay, and lipase, it breaks down the emulsified fat. So the small intestine, this was the function of the pancreatic secretions. Now small intestine also has glands inside it, and they also does the similar action. There it is released in the intestine, the intestinal juices, and they again, the proteins are converted to amino acids, complex carbohydrates into smaller, simpler carbohydrates, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. So now the digestion of the food in the small intestine, now you can say, is complete with all this. So in small intestine, the liver secretes its secretions, okay, then the pancreas secretes its secretion, and the small intestine also secretes. They also have the glands and it also secretes. And ultimately what has happened, we have got into now the amino acids, the glucose, the fatty acids and glycerols as the simple nutrients. Okay, now they are to be absorbed into the blood. So who's doing this? The inner lining of small intestine has numerous finger-like projections we call them villi. So inside the small intestine we have villi. Why these villi are there? They increase the surface area for the absorption. And these villi are richly supplied by the blood so that the digested food is absorbed and it is taken into the blood and then to the entire body. So this is how we get our simpler food particles after the digestion. So, but the story does not end here because it has to move further. अभी तो इंटेस्टाइन के अंदर काफ़ी कुछ सामान है, so it has to be moved out also. So what happens now after small intestine, the food enters into the large intestine. What is this appendix? This appendix is a rudimentary organ. We don't require it. We had it as a non-functional part of intestine. So now it enters into the large intestine. So large intestine, it has again three parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. Okay. What happens in these parts? The unabsorbed food, or which is not required by the body, and it is still in the intestine, it is moved to the large intestine. And what happens to this food? Because you see, lot of juices have been secreted. Lot of juices have been secreted in the up to the small intestine portion. So the food inside is watery almost, you can say, or say patli dal type. Patli dal type. Now, but to excrete, we have to absorb back the water, absorb back the water content of it, because water is precious, we can't waste it. So what happens? The water is absorbed from the material and the rest of the material is removed from the body via anus. The exit of this waste material is regulated by the anal sphincter. Again, a circular muscle sphincter, like these are circular muscles. So we had one in stomach and another is here anal sphincter. So what happens? The food before is expelled out is the last portion is the rectum. Okay. So it waits here till the time the person feels that it has to be ejected out. So this is how it happens. So we have completed the digestive system. So now there is a caption in your book about the dental hygiene and dental problems. So dental caries or tooth decay. Dental caries or tooth decay, tooth. Tooth is a teeth, it's this kind of structure, and outside it is covered with hard enamel, dentine, and inside there are roots. Okay. So this is simple. My drawing is not that good, so I have drawn this. So what happens when we eat food? Food is liked by everything. Bacterias, they love food. Like we love milk, bacterias love milk. You love chocolate, bacterias also love chocolate, sugar. So when you eat food, some part of the food particles is left on the tooth or teeth, you can say. So what happens? आपका तो भोजन चला गया अंदर, जो ये बच गया, जो बैक्टीरिया है, they start multiplying here. They start multiplying. So when they start multiplying, वो अपनी जनसंख्या बढ़ा रहे हैं, then what will happen? Some byproducts will be released. Byproducts. What are these byproducts? तो कुछ इसमें acids release होंगे, and these acids, they act on this teeth, और इनके ऊपर ना एक परत बन जाती है, इसके ऊपर एक परत बन जाती है. We call it dental plaque. और उसके अंदर ये बैक्टीरिया ग्रो करते रहते हैं, एंड दे कीप हार्मिंग. एंड जो सलाइवा है वो भी काम नहीं कर पाता यहाँ तक. इट इज अनेबल टू एंटर इट. सो व्हाट हैपेंस देन? इट सॉफ्टन्स द एनेमल। ये एसिड जो है ना ये एनेमल को सॉफ्ट कर देता है। एनेमल और डेंटाइन जो हार्ड स्ट्रक्चर हैं टीथ के, इनको कमज़ोर कर देता है। देन व्हाट हैपेंस, इट एंटर्स इट साइड एंड देन ये इसकी जो कमज़ोर होने के बाद क्या होगा, आपकी दीवार का प्लस्तर उतर गया तो पानी अंदर आएगा ना। सो व्हाट हैपेंस, अंदर क्या है, अंदर रूट्स हैं, नर्व्स। रूट्स का मतलब क्या है, नर्व्स, नर्व एंडिंग्स है। सो अब रूट मतलब इज फिक्स्ड बट उसके अंदर नर्व एंडिंग है, सेंसिटिव पार्ट भी इसके अंदर है। सो व्हाट हैपेंस, जब आप गर्म ठंडा खाते हो तो वो आपको सीधा अंदर फील होता है, बिकॉज द हार्डर पार्ट, द डेंटाइन एंड एनेमल हैज बीन compromised, it has been removed by the action of the bacteria. Okay, so you have to take care of your tooth or teeth. Whenever you eat food, you have to brush it to save your teeth, and especially every time you must do gargle after eating, and जो हमारा अदरवाइज़ एज ओल्ड ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम था, हम जो है ना उस ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम में हम क्या करते थे, ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम में तो हम पानी लेकर के पानी को मुंह में लेके और क्या बोलेंगे उसको, गागल ओनली यू कैन से। सो ये करके, और वी यूज़ टू यूज़ द फिंगर्स, आजकल भी आप देखते होंगे फिंगर्स को यूज़ करके टीथ को क्लीन करते हैं। सो बट these days we don't do it, and the teeth are damaging very early in our life. So अपने दांत बचाने हैं तो आपको मॉर्निंग में ब्रश करनी पड़ेगी, और हर खाना खाने के बाद में आपका जो है ना गरारे या जो कुछ वट एवर यू वांट टू, आपको जो फूड पार्टिकल्स आपके दांतों से निकालने पड़ेंगे। और रात में बिफोर स्लीपिंग यू हैव टू ब्रश। Okay, so the important is again the diagram, and learn whatever have been taught to you, and read the book, read the NCRT book. Thanks.